Hi guys, welcome to my channel, The Golden Traveler. I'm Cindy, and today we're going to be talking about some cruise secrets the cruise lines hope you don't find out. Now today we're going to talk about some of these cruise secrets. Maybe they're a secret to you, maybe they're not, but let's go over some of these. Number one is port day Wi-Fi tricks. Now one of the biggest frustrations of cruise passengers is the Wi-Fi. A lot of times people want to have the Wi-Fi for business, or they need to be in touch with back home, or things like that. Now, Wi-Fi can become spendy on a cruise depending the length of your cruise, and how many devices you're going to have on there. It can be very spendy, and sometimes you can have slow connections. So here's some of the ways to stay connected for less of a cost. Now, instead of buying the Wi-Fi package for the full time you're on the ship, say a 7-day cruise and you take it for 7 days, consider taking it out just for the days that you are at sea. And then days when you're in port. Most ports around the world offer free Wi-Fi in tourist areas or in cafes or coffee shops, and they'll be high speed where you could contact home if you need to, or do some work if you needed to. So if you're not going to need to have Wi-Fi every single day, just consider purchasing it on those days that you are out to sea and couldn't be in contact with home or do your business that you needed to do. It's just one way to kind of cut the costs down. Number two is to unlock some hidden perks by booking through your travel agent. Now, booking through a travel agent can sometimes offer you more things than the cruise line can. You're not going to pay more through a cruise line. They get paid commissions from the cruise line. So your cruise price is going to be the same, but a lot of times they will give you some perks, like a free bottle of champagne in your room when you go to get on board. Sometimes cabin upgrades, and sometimes prepaid gratuities without you paying any more money. So look into this. And a lot of times if you're planning a cruise that is at least 7 days or longer, or during the time frame of January through March, this is a good time to book through a travel agent. They receive limited time promotions before the general public does, and you'll get offered more perks if booking through them. So look into that. Book through a travel agent that or someone that refers you to, something like that. Don't just pick someone that's on Facebook saying, hey, I'm a travel agent. Let me book your cruise, because things have happened bad with travel agents ripping you off also. But next time you're going to cruise, check into that. I know it's not very often I book through a travel agent because it's just easier for me. I just go online to the website and I book it. But I know the times that I have booked through a travel agent. One time we got a balcony upgrade on an Alaska cruise, and one time we had a bottle of champagne waiting for us in the cabin. So there are things like that you can get. So just check into that for your next cruise. Number three, take the spa tour on day one, but hold off on booking. Now, if you're someone that likes to get on board and get pampered or get that massage or your nails or hair done, on embarkation day, that's a mouthful, on embarkation day, on your first day on the ship, usually the spa offers tours. They usually have a raffle and sometimes some welcome drinks for you to take a tour of the spa, and they'll try to talk you into booking right then. Well, a lot of times if you don't book right then, just take the tour so you know how everything looks. Sometimes they might give you a quick free hand massage as a sample or something like that on the first day. You can ask questions, but don't book yet. Usually the third or fourth day of your cruise, now this is for a longer cruise, say 7 to 14 days or more, they start giving discounts. You get your daily paper in your room or on your app, and they will start giving discounts of 20% or more on different spa things, especially on port days. When everyone's out to port, you'll get a better deal then, and the spa will be less crowded. So just hold off and look into that unless you really want one right away. That's up to you. Number 4 is enjoy specialty dining without the full price. Now, cruise food is one of the highlights of a cruise, but when that specialty steakhouse is charging $60 a person, it might be out of some people's reach. But you can still enjoy these specialty restaurants without the premium price tag. Most of these restaurants do offer a lunch menu where the portions are generous and the quality just as high as a dinner experience, and it's a lot less money. I know we did that on our last cruise, the Anthem of the Seas. We went to the Italian restaurant that was specialty dining for lunch, and it was much, much cheaper and lots of food. We were really full. You could have anything off the menu, the appetizer, the main course, the desserts, as many as you wanted. So that's one way to try these places out, by going to lunch instead of paying for dinner and getting the same quality, the same food. A lot of times it's the same food that's offered for dinner. They say smaller portions, but they're pretty large portions from what I have seen on there. And some other tips on embarkation day, some of these specialty dining places don't have many people going to them on embarkation day when you're getting on the ship. So, and they might just be standing out front, which I've seen a lot of because most people head for the buffet. Go up to them and ask them if they have any specials or discounted rates for, going on embarkation day. And some of them may have that. They may have a special walk-in rate without a reservation because they aren't full and nobody's made a reservation there yet. So that's another way to go and check that out. Number 5 is your cruise cabin do not disturb sign. Now, even if you have your do not disturb sign on your door, there may be instances when that crew member can still enter your cabin. Some of these reasons are for safety checks. For example, if you've had your do not disturb on your room door for several days and the crew has not been able to come in there and clean, they may knock on your door. If you don't answer, they may go in doing a welfare check to make sure you're okay. Other reasons that they can go in is if there's loud noises or someone has reported loud noises in your cabin, or if there's maintenance issues. Even if you have that do not disturb on, they can still go into your cabin for specific reasons. So don't always keep your do not disturb on there the whole cruise. Unless you talk to your crew member and say, hey, I'm not going to need my room cleaned, we're going to have our sign on there, because they don't know. So don't always leave it on your room. When you leave your cabin, if you take it off, then they come in there and clean your room for you. Number 6 is some free drinks without buying the drink package. Now, drink packages can be very expensive. Yes, they can. I usually don't take the drink packages because I don't hardly drink, and I don't drink coffees. I don't drink soda. I might have 1 or 2 drinks my whole cruise, so it's just not worth it. And if my son were to get the drink package, he drinks more than I do, then I would have to get the drink package too. So we're talking about, on our cruise coming up, for us both to get the drink package, it's another $940. That's a lot of money. That's almost the price of a cruise. So I can't see paying that. Now, depends on the cruise line. With Princess, like we're going on, that does include a lot of other things like gratuities and, other things like that. So there's a lot more included in their package, but some cruise lines, it's just the drinks. So if you're not a big drinker and things like that, it's better to pay as you go. But you can get some free drinks once in a while on a cruise ship. Something like attending art auctions. They always have usually champagne there. Shopping seminars or the captain's reception. They will have either cocktails, champagnes, or wine. And I've noticed a lot of times they have liquor tastings on board. My son always goes to those, and you can sample different liquors. So there are some times when you can get some free drinks on board. And don't forget, you can always carry on a bottle of wine or bottle of champagne. Some cruise ships, that's per person. Some, that's per cabin. But you can carry that on when you board the ship. So there's another way to get some alcohol. Number 7, skip the photos. Now, if you want to save some money, skip those photos on board. They can be very expensive, usually $20 to $30 per picture. If you want a nice picture, then go ahead and get it, for a souvenir. But cruise ships have gorgeous spots on the ship to take a nice photo, like those beautiful staircases coming down in the centers of the ship, grand staircases. Sunsets on the deck, or perhaps a grand piano that's there in one of the places, are great photo spots. So just ask a nearby passenger if they would mind taking a picture of you. Most of them don't mind at all. We've had people take pictures of us, and I've never had anybody say, no, I'm not going to take a picture. And then you might ask them, do you want me to take a picture of you? Or if they're, usually with someone else, ask them if they'd like that. But that's a way to save money and still get, beautiful pictures while you're on the ship. Number 8 is choose the right cabin. Make sure when you book your cabin, you are booking in the right location. Now, always look at the cruise deck for your cabin number before you book it. You don't want to end up under the swimming pools, any of the pools. You will hear the chairs being put away late at night, like at midnight or later. You will hear them drug out very, very early in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning, dragging all those chairs across there. So you don't want to be there. You don't want to be near a nightclub or something that's open late into the night, or you're going to hear the boom, boom, boom all night. You don't want to be near a dining room. They start cooking early and they're cleaning up late at night. So just make sure, look at those deck plans. I usually look and make sure it's only cabins above us, only cabins below us, beside us and everywhere, so that you're not in a bad location and you get a horrible night's sleep. Also, if you're prone to seasickness, that will determine where you want to be in your cabin. Choose a cabin in the center of the ship, and the lower down, the better. So just check the deck plans before you actually book that cabin. Number 9, ask the crew where to eat. Ask them the best place to eat on the ship if you're looking for like a quick food to get in and out, or you want a certain food that's really good. They do eat, certain crew members do eat around the ship. They do have their own cruise buffet and dining room, but I know some of them do eat. I've seen them eat up on deck, usually not too much with the passengers. But they could tell you the best place on the cruise ship that has like the best food, or where you can get a quick snack, or where you could, get different things that you might want. Also in ports, a lot of the crew members have been in those ports and they know the best places to eat too. So you can ask them that as well. Number 10 is outsmarting the elevator crowds. Now, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, I'm sure you've experienced this. You've stood there waiting for an elevator. The door opens and it's packed solid. So you stand there and wait for the next one. The door opens, it's packed solid. Especially after a show, if you're at an elevator right by that showroom or something, you're not going to get in the elevator. It's going to take a very long time. So one of the tricks is if you're heading down a floor, or up, everybody's usually going the same direction. So if you're going down and you can't get on the elevator going down because it keeps being full, hit the up button. Go up. Nobody's probably going up because they're going down. Go up a few floors and then let the doors open and close, and then go down. And then you'll be on there and get to go down. Or if you possibly can, take the stairs, which is usually always what we end up doing, going all these floors up and down the stairs. But it's good exercise, but I know a lot of people can't take the stairs. But you'll stand there for a very long time waiting for an elevator. Or don't use the elevators in the middle of the ships. Go to a different bank of elevators. They're usually in the front, the back, the middle. So you could try a different elevator if you need to go on an elevator. Or try that trick. If you're going down, go up. If you're going up and it's crowded, go down and then back up. Try that, and that might work for you. Number 11 is mention special occasions, even if it's a bit belated. Now, cruise lines will often go out of their way for a celebration, even if it's a little bit belated or a little bit before the event. So say maybe your birthday was a week ago or you have an anniversary coming up in a week, they still would celebrate that with you. Just let them know on your app. I know right now, on my app I have for our cruise in November, it's asking me if we're going to celebrate anything. Actually, I put down my birthday because it's going to be my 70th birthday. That's a big one. Ooh. But I did put that down even though I'm not going to be on board for my birthday. What the heck? Put it on there. Sometimes you get things like a special dessert.
India celebrating a birthday. This is from our side. I brought the international mariachi.
Or balloons in your cabin, or sometimes they'll decorate your door. I've had them done that before for me, decorate my door. Last time I was on Princess Cruise on my birthday, they don't usually make the towel animals like Carnival does, but they made me a special, really pretty bird towel animal for my birthday. The cabin attendant did. So go ahead and mention those things for you. It doesn't hurt, and you may. I've heard of people getting cabin upgrades depending on what the occasion is or spa discounts. So it doesn't hurt. Just go ahead and let them know that. Number 12 is repositioning cruises. Now you can score big discounts with repositioning cruises if you're able to do this. This is when a ship relocates. So say from one region to another. So say right now the ship we're going to be on, the Royal Princess, is in Alaska doing the Alaska cruise, for the summer. Then she'll be going down to LA to start the Mexico cruise, which is what we're going to be on. So people that would take that repositioning cruise would be leaving from like the Alaska. Well, actually it leaves from Seattle or Vancouver. I'm not sure where it goes out of. Then that would reposition and go down to LA. So if you're taking that cruise from Alaska down to LA, you're only paying for the one-way trip, and it's a lot cheaper. I have seen some of those repositioning cruises be very cheap if you can do them. Now, the only thing is you have to have 2 one-way tickets for airplanes if you have to fly in. You'd be flying up to Seattle, Vancouver, wherever it's coming from. And then you'd be ending up back in LA, so you'd have to come home from LA. But check into those if you're able to do that, if you have the time that you can do that when they do these repositioning cruises. And you should get a great price. I've seen them really great. So there you have it. Some tips to save some money on your next cruise. We all need some tips to save money on a cruise. It's not always easy. Sometimes you're nickel and dimed with everything. Just be smart about everything. Just think, do I really need to have this item? It's not hard to spend a lot of money on a cruise. Everyone is trying to get you in to buy this, buy that, buy this. Just think smart and think, do I really need this? And save some money for things you really want. So I want to thank you all for stopping by today. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me grow. Doesn't cost you anything, and you could unsubscribe whenever you want to. I just would really appreciate it. So thanks again for stopping by, and I hope to see you all again on my channel, The Golden Traveler. Bye for now. Have a wonderful day.